Good morning, Patriots. Chris Cordani here, sitting in for Tony Shaffer only for a little bit. Tony's on Newsmax at the moment, and he is going to be back with us in just a few. But with me, as I'm almost a regular on Mondays now, it's Cousin Vinny. Welcome to Wake Up
Good, mo-
Patriots, Cousin Vinny.
good morning, everybody out there. We have a great show today. I hope you enjoy it.
That's right. The sidekick is in right now. But good morning, everybody. We hope you're having a fantastic time and had a wonderful weekend. I believe their get-together is pretty soon. The Wake Up Patriots get-together in Nashville. It's going to be a lot of fun. I wish I could be there, but I have there's some things happening, so I got to deal with that. But things happen, as you know. But yeah. So, Vinny, did you check out the recent DC protests over? I guess over Trump making the streets safer.
Yes. I was watching a couple of videos and the news and whatnot, but I'm not just understanding a lot of people in D.C. President Trump is trying to clean it up, which he's doing an amazing job. He's cleaning up all the homeless tents and whatnot. But then you got these protesters protesting against it. Why would you protest something good or going against trying to make the place look better? Well, why are you out there holding your stupid signs up and yelling this, yelling that? It does not make sense to me.
Well, that's a good question. And it's a very serious and good question because these people are out there. Look, I'm going to also say there, no matter what somebody does, there are always going to be a good percentage that'll disagree. But disagreeing to the point where they have to protest the idea, I get going on social media and saying I don't like federal takeover of anything. The fact is, DC is such a different thing. Trump cannot do this in Chicago or LA. I'm pretty sure some residents wish they could, but they had the vote. And look what they put in there. Washington, it's a different story because it's under a federal jurisdiction and the president can take that over. But the problem is these protesters aren't all local, and many of them aren't even from the neighborhoods that are affected. I'm finding out from research and videos out there that, of course, as you know, they're being bussed in from other sources. Let's take a look at this video, Vinny. Tell me what you think. Let's get there. You see these buses here?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's good. Yeah.
They're all coming in. They're coming off their buses. Don't tell me these people came in from or drove in from the local neighborhoods or walked in from their tough neighborhoods. Try it again. This guy's pretty lazy lounging around like that.
Yeah, right. Look at it.
This doesn't hide the fact there's a little wind coming out of there. Maybe you might want to check that out. But
Yeah.
The problem is here. A lot of big money is coming in. It used to be that support for causes was grassroots. No matter what it was, even during the agree or disagree with it, a lot of these were young people, grassroots, signs with magic markers, and just got together. I'm sure there was a network or things like that of people telling people to get there. But the fact is, right now you have paid protesters. This is all theater, and it's basically designed to create an illusion that an unpopular idea like keeping the streets of Washington crime-ridden is actually popular. And right now, we're not falling for it anymore, are we?
Well, a lot of these protesters, like most of them, all of them, are being paid. But the stupidity of them is that they have to they're giving their name and their information to whoever's Soros or whoever the people. So when time comes, the Trump administration is going to find out that you were part of the problem out there protesting, and you took money to go out and protest. Everything is recorded. They're just not going to tell these people to go there, and they're just going to hand you $200, $300 for the day to protest and commit crimes and break windows and whatever. You got to sign up for it. Once you sign up for it and you agree to cause havoc and problems, then you're putting your whole life in jeopardy because your information is going to be found out and no one's going to hire you. You ain't gonna get a city job, and your life is screwed up because you wanted to make an extra $200-300 to be stupid in the street.
Well, that's if it was a right-wing protest, Vinny, because they have lots of left-wing doctors who spend their time since they're not working to go out and try to find who these people are, call their jobs, and get them fired. That's what happened during the January 6th protest. And I'm not talking about the rioters. I'm talking about regular people who were just there, who were led into the Capitol. We were here, and we all look. The guy who played the voice for Vinny Pesto on Bob's Burgers was fired just for showing up at the January 6th protest. Look, we're allowed to ask questions, and so are they.
Right.
But when very powerful people are bussing people in, maybe they enjoy the chanting. Maybe that's what it is.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, me personally, I won't get involved in stupidity like that. You know, it's not worth it. It's not worth it.
It's like being in a kindergarten class. FreedomNews.tv put this up.
We refuse to accept. We refuse to accept a fascist America. The Trump fascist regime must go now.
Look at these people. They're idiots. And some of them obviously masked up and not to hide their faces from the camera just because they're really getting some kind of cold, I guess.
Yeah. But isn't it funny that they're allowed to wear masks and whatnot, and the ICE and the agents, they don't want them to wear masks? It's like I don't get it. I really just don't get it.
ICE agents are wearing masks because it's required of them now. That's due to lefty protesters taking pictures of them. And again, they don't work. They hang in their mother's basement all day. So they have all day to figure out who these people are by looking over, or they're putting their little network together and doxing the people, threatening their families. These people have had their homes called. They've had their lives threatened and their families' lives threatened. These people have children. And they don't care. The lefties don't care because they think they're marching for a cause, which I really believe they're marching just to come and chant. It's almost like drag queen story hour when it comes to these protests. Chant, march in lockstep, march in lockstep, march in lockstep. It's a huge huge first grade kindergarten class, if you will, because it's all repeating what the leader says. It's all follow the leader. It's all, oh, look, that sounds so, and it's easy to memorize these chants. They're so much fun. It's a low
honestly, it's getting ridiculous. Every time Trump wants to do something or making things better, there's always a protest. And honestly, I think protesting should be eliminated.
Yeah,
they should not have it no more.
Yeah, Vic, you might want to do something about that wind that's coming in there. We're getting a lot of wind coming in your speaker.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah. We'll work on that.
How's that?
So
Is that a little better?
Yeah, that sounds a lot better. Yeah. Can't have all that wind. The only wind bags are the people that are protesting. But it gets even worse. It gets even worse. Check this out. Do you remember back in I guess when I was little, I used to go to a place called Point Sebago. My, I guess was 9, 10, 11, 12. And my little brother was 6 and my little sister was like 3, 4, and 5. And then we did a couple of times we got over there. That's fine. But Point Sebago was a nice resort in Maine. Every once in a while, they'd have the kindergarten and under, the 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4-year-olds, right? They'd march.
Right.
They'd march in a little something called the Pots and Pans Parade, where they'd bang on pots and pans and they'd march. And be cute. Well, they had one of those at the protests. Again, I mean, this must be the elderly Pots and Pans Parade. Check this out. This is like what the kids were doing at 3 and 4 years old, and these are the overgrown kindergartners here today.
Oh my God!
Pots and Pans Parade. Free DC now.
Oh my God! It reminds me of New Year's when we were little kids, we all ran outside with our pots and pans and bang make noise when we were
Yeah,
little kids on New Year's Eve,
yeah.
right?
Remember Dennis the Menace?
Oh yeah. Oh my God, it's
Oh,
so funny. And that is funny.
but it's free DC now. I mean, think about this. Who wants DC to be free? It certainly isn't the regular person. I know I'm not a big fan of just going to randos on Twitter and X, but this nice lady seems to have it all in
Oh yeah, I
perspective.
saw this video.
Yeah, and again, I would rather listen to people who live in the neighborhoods. And I'm not talking about the criminals who are free to do what they want. And by the way, I want to get to another video that I don't have, but I want to tell you about it.
Trump has done it again. Have you seen the latest videos of DC? The sidewalks are spotless, no trash on the streets, no crowds of people stumbling around. It is peaceful, clean, and honestly, it is refreshing. The locals seem happy. So far, I haven't seen a single video of a resident complaining. The only ones upset are people who don't even live there and just hate Trump. At the end of the day, everyone deserves to feel safe in their own community.
Yeah, except for the criminals.
Yeah, she's right. She's right. You know, it does look a lot cleaner. I mean, as I see in a lot of the videos, and I see the homeless shelters, you know, the bulldozers picking them up and throwing the tents away, and that needs to be done in all sanctuary cities. You know, and these people are causing this havoc because, you know, Trump is getting rid of their potential voters, but it doesn't matter because now with the real ID, you know that's what the real ID is for. You know, so they know that you're a citizen of the United States. Because when I went for my real ID, you have to bring your passport, your social security card,
Yeah,
all
yes.
your information, bills, and everything else. You know, where's an illegal? What is an illegal going to bring? Himself. So you're an illegal. You got to go. You're not in the United States.
I agree with you 100%. And the whole point of the idea is when you hear a liberal say they didn't do anything wrong, look, they came into this country illegally. What Donald Trump is actually offering people here with a self deportation is, hey, we're going to help you leave and come back to your country, but you still have the option of coming in legally. And what is wrong with that? I don't know. I don't know why so many people think it's wrong to do things like this. It's not. And the funny thing is, the people who support this are the ones trying to cover things up. They're very angry about the idea that there could be a recounting of the census, a recounting of the population. They don't like the idea that the Trump administration and potentially the next administration, if it's Republican, are going to keep the idea. Are going to in order, they're going to place an idea and keep the idea that illegals won't be counted as citizens for the purpose of setting up congressional districts. Boy, imagine the gerrymandering the Democrat states have to do after that, Vinny.
Well, I think it's going to be kind of chaotic when they do this. I mean, look, Trump already took off like 280,000, maybe more, off of Social Security. So that means they're not getting their checks. He's already, you know, took out the United States 1.7 million illegals already gone out of the United States. Those are all votes that the Democrats don't have anymore. That's how I look at it. And what I don't understand is that, you know, when my parents came here, they didn't jump over a wall. They didn't, you know, cut a gate to get in. They came by a boat. Then they had to go to Ellis Island and get processed and whatnot. And sure, many people got abused. They got things stolen from them. They got this, they got that. But they came the right way. And they went for their citizenship and they became an American citizen. That's the right way. Trump is not telling you you're not allowed back in. You're not allowed back in if you don't go deport yourself. But, you know, if you deport yourself and then do the right paperwork, you're allowed to come back in the right way and stay and become a citizen. So what's the what? I'm not understanding. Unless you're that stupid, not understanding.
Well, they're basically trying to cover things up. They're trying to cover up what the left is trying to cover up what it's done over the last many decades to try to skew the census counts, to bring people in and maybe try to skew the demographic counts of certain places too, so they can get more representation for their own party. It's all about the win for their party, but not a win for the people they supposedly represent. Let's go to the Patriots. I want to get some comments here. We're talking about the Pots and Pans parade. Denise goes, did they get all those folks out of a nursing home? That's right, the elderly Pots and Pans parade. That's a good point. I like that. MK Hart, love it. Pots and pans used to give them to my toddlers to play with. Yep, that's exactly true. That's what you're saying. Let's see. We got some good stuff here. Let's see. We got this. Good morning, everybody. It's all the good mornings here. I'm very happy with that. By the way, oh, there you go. Loves Christ, BRB, communion time. That's a good thing. I thought you said communism time. We haven't talked about Mamdami yet, so we're going to do that.
Oh, yeah.
Nice job, by the way. Enjoy. Let's see. We got some good stuff here. A lot of good mornings. So good morning, everybody. Yeah, here we go. So there's a lot of good stuff here. Want to say hi to all the Patriots here and hit the like button if you really like what we're doing. And let's go. Oh, that real ID thing you were mentioning. Talk about that too. I believe it was Low Country SC Patriot. I didn't want it either, and they gave it to me against my will. I don't mind the real ID. I thought it was kind of annoying to have to go get it, but I'll take it. It's not a big deal.
In a way, it's a good. It's a good idea.
Yeah.
It's a good idea to real ID. I personally think it's a great idea because it keeps everybody in the United States safe. They know who you are. They can track who you are. You know what I mean? And if any bad people come into the United States, they know where they are, and they can find them.
And look, again, it keeps illegals from. You can kind of weed out illegals too that way, depending on what state you're in. I like that one. Loves Christ. Darn, Tony's cheating on us with Newsmax Radio. Tony has to be on there. So that's why he commissions people like us to help him. I'm the sidekick normally. I'm his resident nerd. So take care of the tech stuff, bring everybody in, make sure the sound's okay. And yes, I crack a few jokes. I guess if anybody was an Imus fan, I'm more like Tony's Bernie, if you will, right? Remember Imus?
Yeah, Tony's a great guy. Great guy.
Yeah. But let's. I want to go to this other part of the protest. And I want to talk about Zelensky, Putin, and Trump. I want to talk about that because there are a lot of new developments coming here, and the EU leaders are going to be coming. And I want to talk to Tony about that when he gets in. We're also going to have a very special guest today. We're talking about DC streets. So we're going to save a little bit of that for him. But I want to just glance over this, and I want to bring that into you a little bit later on, Tony. Vinny. There was a guy over there, I guess, was it Tony Saruga? He was doing a report. He was at the protest, and a small sample, did a little GPS, 318 mobile devices present nearby, including law enforcement and media. 92 were present at 5 or more past DC protests. 67 were likely to be federal government employees. Again, a lot of government employees are very to the left anyway. You can't get rid of all of them, and they are going to go to these protests because it's something to do.
Yeah.
Now I have a chart here, and I'm going to use that when we get the other guy in here, when our guests in here. We'll get Tony in here too. But there was these people actually, again, it's no joke. They pay protesters to flood streets. Some of them cause trouble, but they like to film people. They sometimes give these so-called influencers incentive. You videotape yourself at these protests, show off, and try to spread the word, and you get a certain amount of money if you get, I guess, a certain amount of likes, something like that, or a certain amount of interactions. But it causes more problems. It makes any protest less authentic. How about that?
Yeah, it does.
It's supposed to be grassroots, and there's no more. Even the St. Floyd protests, they were never grassroots. They were a bunch of people looking to cause trouble.
Yeah, I mean, come on. I mean, you're damaging people's property. You're causing havoc. I mean, it's not right. We're supposed to be an American citizen. We're supposed to be showing other countries that we're better than them. But in a way, they're looking at us like, wow, we can't control our own people, and they want to help us. See, that doesn't look right for the United States.
Right. And look, man cases, protests are stupid. They're not all of them. The protests where they chant and march in unison, and a lot of them wear the same shirts with a stupid what the hats the Sixth March did back in the first Trump year, from the first Trump term. Those were stupid because these are people just out there just to screech against things not going their way. Some protests are very important. I do believe the protest on January 6th was important. I also believe the people that caused problems, I don't care what side they're from, they should be punished. But the ones who were there that were unjustly thrown in jail, that was not a stupid protest. That protest was basically, or I should say the gathering, if you will, the mostly peaceful protest was because people questioned the results of the election. They questioned the idea that the media was preparing us for something they called a red mirage. When these counts and of course these ballot counts in Pennsylvania, when Republicans were kicked out, windows were shut, shades were shut down, so then counts could resume. There were shenanigans in Georgia. Stacey Abrams was behind that. Sonny Hostin admitted to voting fraud via mail-in ballots. There were mail-in ballots sent to people who didn't exist or didn't live in places anymore. People who have been accounted for saying they didn't vote, but the results say they did vote. So yes, that kind of protest was very important because people need to ask questions of the government.
Yeah, I mean, even dead people voted. That was a good one.
Hey.
You know, when they found thousands of people that voted that were dead.
Ray Stevens did a song about that. Did you see that? There's a video going on YouTube where I guess it was after the Biden election. It was the 2020 election. He actually did a song about his dead grandfather who voted Democrat for the first time. So it's pretty funny. I like Ray Stevens. I became a Stevens fan when I was a child because The Streak was a big hit in 1974. And what 5-year-old doesn't love a song like that?
Yeah, right. Oh boy. I mean, I don't know. I never thought in my life I would see all this chaos and problems. And I mean, we were lucky that when we grew up in a time that there was no cell phones, there was no nothing. And life to me was much better. Everybody, was better off. And now it's just too much. I mean, you can't say this, you can't say that. Could you imagine now watching Archie Bunker on TV? They'd shut him off the next day.
I just did that last night. I want to tell you something. I produced a program, and Norman Lear. I booked Norman Lear for the show. And before again to the green room, because I always have to test the levels and everything. I get to talk to these people before they go on air. I wish I was the one interviewing, but I was a producer. The producer has to take a step back usually. Doesn't matter. But anyway, I got to talk to the guy, and we're talking about some of his shows while I was doing levels with him. And I said, look, I liked All in the Family. People today don't understand All in the Family because all they see on the surface is some older white guy making fun of minorities. The fact is, the guy didn't have an education past sixth grade. Didn't graduate high school.
Yeah.
Right. Because back in that day, a lot of guys had to quit and go to work to support their family or take care of the family or help take care of the family. He was not a stupid man. He was just uneducated, but he was not a horrible racist like these kids would think. He didn't know a lot of things, but he was very sensitive. He cared about the people around him. He made fun, but he was never awful to anybody. And he kind of he made friends with people of other races and other ethnicities. He was visibly upset when a Jewish guy from across the street got bombed in his car. He helped Meathead with his appendix surgery. He paid for Meathead's appendix surgery, for that matter, and he didn't even like the guy. I didn't hate the guy, but he treated he took in Meathead like family, and he didn't even have a job at that point.
Yeah, I know, but a lot of the things he said was kind of true, like explaining to Meathead about like like war and veterans and this and that. But he would always say, God bless America, God bless America. You know, and a lot of people don't realize that how lucky we are to be in the United States. Look at all these other countries; they have nothing. They live totally different than us. Some live in shacks where you have a nice house and a nice car. You should sit back and say, hey, I appreciate being in the United States, and you should help the United States in any way you can.
No, I agree. And look, you should love your country. And I'm not one of those idiots who say America right or wrong, because we're in a country where we're allowed to question authority. And believe me, during the Otto Penn administration, Vinny, there was plenty of wrong.
Yeah,
And we
yeah.
can't not speak up and say, thank you, government. Can I have another? Like Red Foreman said once, but Red Foreman is Red Foreman. And he corrected me up too, by the way. Uh, the fact is, you have to ask questions. Look, people should be standing up in Chicago and Los Angeles asking questions about why things are the way they are there. But if you do, you're shut down.
Well, I mean, like you said, ask questions. Sometimes when you ask questions, you don't get the right answer.
And keep
You
asking.
you you get told this, you get told that. But sometimes it's like I said, it's not the right. But there's ways to go about it to get the right answer, and who to call and doing your research. I mean, I'm very political. On social media, I post things, and then people make their comments. And the first thing I say to them is like, why don't you do your research? Do your research before you comment or say anything. If you don't know what I'm posting about, don't comment, because you honestly you sound kind of stupid, and people see it, and people see what you're commenting on.
What was it?
You know,
Abraham. It was attributed to Abraham Lincoln, but I'm sure it wasn't him. It was said that somebody always, my grandmother would tell me this too. It's better to keep your mouth shut and be thought a fool than open it up and leave no doubt. Which, of course, we're showing the exact opposite of that phrase right here, both of us.
I have. I'm not going to mention his name, but I have a friend. Every time I comment, either he's laughing at Trump, he says bad things about Trump, and after a while, a lot of my friends on social media see it, and they think he's kind of an idiot, and that's what you get. People see how stupid you are,
Well,
and I don't feel bad.
the problem with Donald Trump and the people that criticize him is they just don't like his personality. And look, you see the protesters, you see the chanting, you see the pots and pans parade, you see the
Yeah.
you see the hold on a second. Hold on a second. I'm having a little issue with the guest here, but okay, I just got thrown off. I got an email from the guest. We're going to get to that in just a soon. That shouldn't happen, but I have to produce and do the show at the same time as we do when it comes to live. But these people just have a blind hatred toward the character of Donald Trump, the one they saw in The Apprentice that reminds them of their boss who fires dead wood, or his over the top personality, or his insults, or things like that. His showmanship outshines his job to a lot of people, but people don't see past the surface on a lot of these things. That's why you have the chanters. That's why you have the repeat phrasers. That's why you have the pots and pans paraders are the ones who don't like Donald Trump. It's their mentality. I get it. Some people fundamentally disagree with Republicans or fundamentally disagree with Trump. And hey, they're borderline communists anyway, if not full bred. But still, it's blind hatred towards one man.
Right, and now, like the biggest thing now is this: they're calling Trump and the administration a cult. Why would you be so stupid to say that?
Oh yeah, the
Why?
people in get this, the people in matching shirts, matching ugly pink, well, you know what hats, and
Right, right.
chanting in unison all the time, in their pots and pans are calling us a cult. Think about that. These people never questioned their leader. These people never questioned Joe Biden. That includes the news media. They never question Democrats when they say anything. So, but you have Trump supporters booing Trump at his own rallies at times. That's not a cult.
I think it's just ridiculous. I just don't know what to say at sometimes. I just don't get people. I mean, to me, it's kind of stupid that you're out there doing all this, and you're putting yourself on TV, with the news. People see you for what you are, and it doesn't make sense to me. I just don't get it.
No, but it really doesn't. I agree with you 100%. We're still waiting on Tony coming in here, so he'll be in soon. He must be having a grand old time on Newsmax. That's kind of cool. I like that.
Yeah.
We are also going to have Greg Rabidoux. Greg Rabidoux. I have to pronounce that correctly. He is a film producer. He produced a lot of great movies like Babies of Spain, Stolen Babies of Spain, Letters to the Pope, and The Insatiable Dragon, Hollywood, how China took control of Hollywood, a cautionary tale. So we can talk to him. He's going to talk about DC as well. So we're doing that. Let's move into New York before we talk a little DC, and we're probably going to do that a little with him as well. It winds up that the socialist, Zoran Mamkami, the man of the people, as you know, who hates billionaires, gets a hell of a lot of money from billionaires and multimillionaires. No surprise here. Think about that. It's $2 billion in some grassroots support behind Zoran Mamdani. I got to ask yourself, where's this money coming from? I do have a chart that was put together. Sam Antar did a really excellent report on all of this. So he said he's saying that Zoran Mamdani is a product of this is from his ex-post, a product of a grassroots washing syndicate of 501c3 and 501c4 entities funded by Soros and Silicon Valley billionaires. This is the manufactured product, he says. The fact is, socialism is an industry. Socialism is a means to make money for these people, and pushing socialism makes people like Mamdani, Bernie Sanders, Hillary Clinton, and Karen Bass richer. Thoughts there, Vinny?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the people that are supporting him don't like Trump. That's a known fact.
Right.
But people better wake up, because if this guy becomes mayor, New York City is gonna fall so fast. It's gonna. Your property value is gonna drop. It's gonna become dirty, worse than what it is. There's going to be a lot more crime. There's going to be a lot of things. It's going to almost look like Cuba. That's how I look at it.
Yeah, that's a good point. So, by the way, let's welcome Greg Rabidoux, our guest today. We're going to get into a little bit. We're going to get into talking about some DC with you, Greg. We talked a little bit about that before, and I want to get your perspective on all of that. But Greg is the purveyor of several great films. We're going to talk about those in just a moment, but welcome to Wake Up Patriots. Tony will be here in just a little bit. I'm Chris. I'm sitting in for Tony. I'm his producer, and we just have a lot of fun here today. And Cousin Vinny's with us too, as are the Patriots. Welcome, Greg.
Thanks. How you doing?
Excellent. We're going to talk about a lot of your great stuff here. I'm going to put it up here. Your websites, Greg. I hope I have your name pronounced correctly. Rabidoux. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's even better than I pronounce it.
I have to tell you, the inspector is going to be very happy with me. You remember Inspector Clouseau, the old cartoons? He would tell he would tell his Spanish partner Dudu to pronounce everything correctly in Spain. He always said, "Don't say
Yeah.
si, say we."
There you go.
So, Greg, you won several awards. You put together these absolutely fantastic films. We're going to talk about the charismatic pastor coming soon, but the Stolen Babies of Spain, very hard-hitting film. Letters to the Pope, and yes, something near and dear to our hearts, Hollywood, and how China has taken control of Hollywood. A cautionary tale. So, welcome.
Thank you, sir.
So did you go to the protests over the last weekend? Greg, I wonder if can you hear me, Greg?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you get to go to the protests over the weekend in DC?
So I have been following them really closely because I went to grad school there for a couple of years. I call it my tours of duty. Went to grad school, worked in for a member of Congress for about 2-3 years. Um, Came out, worked on films, things like that. I've gone back a couple times for different projects and for work. My family and I lived there for a little while. I got to tell you, I mean, the protests, these protests drive me crazy for a couple of reasons. First, if you notice, hardly any of these protests are at night because I think they know, like, you don't want to be basically in DC at night, um, even if you're in a big group. The
They're
second
afraid of
thing
getting
is,
mugged.
yeah, you're afraid of getting mugged. And you sure don't, I don't see a whole lot of minorities in these protests because why? Because they're the ones that are always impacted by crime, drugs, fentanyl, carjacking, theft, robbery, assault. They live it. They know they're not going to be in the streets saying, no, no, don't reduce crime. Don't make it safer. Are you insane? And of course, the third thing that drives me crazy is the singing. Enough with the 1960s style or 1980s, we are the world, free DC, free DC.
I
They got to
know.
stop. They got to stop the singing, guys.
Oh, I got better for you.
Oh,
I got better for you. I'm going to do this right now since we have Tony back and you're
Good
here. We
morning.
did this earlier for the Patriots. Let's get Tony. I'm going to do this again. Patriots. I know you saw this already, but remember back when we were little children, the 2, 3, and 4 years old. I used to go to this place called Point Sebago. My little sister at 2, 3, and 4 years old when we used to go there. They would play. They give them these pots and pans. They'd march around beating them a little pots and pans parade. And a lot of playgrounds and the nursery schools are the toddlers with
There
their
you
pots
go.
and pans parade. Well, here you have that same mentality in the Washington D.C. protest. This
Right.
is the elderly pots and pans parade in Washington over the weekend.
Yeah. If I was George Soros, I'd almost be like, I want some refunds because I'm paying a whole lot of money for these paid protesters or these folks that apparently have nothing else to do. And I got to get more than pots and pans, guys. I got to upgrade. I got to level up my protest if I'm paying that much money for these protests.
Well, this is not
his daughter-in-law, Huma Albadine.
This is not entirely their fault. This is a combination of them being Joe Biden's age and having the same condition, and remembering Romper Room from the 1960s. So it's all coming together. It's a kind of a globule. Can I use that word? Globule, a globule of nonsense.
Trump
And
should
to your
hold
point,
them back zero.
I used to live in Northern Virginia, Springfield to be specific, and I would have to go into DC every day. And there's certain areas back a while back, Greg, that were they were kind of considered neutral zones. Like, hey, criminals don't go here because you're going to impact on the federal bureaucracy, which back in the day, back in the 80s and 90s, you screw around with the feds, you go to jail. Then certain areas which were essentially off limits for tourists because people wanted to make money, but that's all gone. The idea of having zones which were secure, it's gone. So basically, let me know if you agree with me. I think basically all those things went away starting with Obama, really expanding under Biden. So right now, basically, literally, you're not safe anywhere. And then it's true that the Metropolitan Police are playing with numbers. They're playing the numbers game. They're lying about the stats because they're trying to create the illusion that everything's just fine. Is that a good assessment of kind of where we're at right now?
Man, I think you're right on point. I can give it to you almost in phases real quick.
Yeah.
When I was in grad school years ago, I was told by some folks that lived there, and they basically what you said. They said, look, you got northeast, northwest, southeast, southwest DC, and then you kind of got the circle, like you said, where it's sort of that neutral zone. And even then, they said southeast, southwest, it's like a shooting gallery.
Southeast, you don't go into Buzzard's Point. Buzzard's Point. Don't go there.
Friends, get out. Don't be there at night. But as the years progressed, to your point, when the last time I went, which just was not that long ago, we went for an event with my film crew to interview somebody. No exaggeration. We're in DuPont Circle. We're approaching this, cafe, kind of coffee bar type place. Some guy, this isn't at night. This is like later afternoon. Some guy comes flying out of the place, smacks his head onto a car that's parked there, lands on the road, I'm looking to my right. A police officer's there. He kind of looks, sort of shrugs, and keeps on going. And I tell my crew, yeah, we're not doing that. Let's go find another place. We'll meet somewhere else. And I take that as when they say, oh, it's not an emergency. You know how places get when they get used to crime?
Oh yeah.
Well, that's how I look at DC. You kind of got used to the drugs, the fentanyl, the homelessness being, what is it, 10 times per capita worse than any other state in terms of crime. And as always, this is what also gets me. The left protests, you get these sort of white elites, liberals coming out. But where does the crime impact the most? The minorities, the neighborhoods, the blacks. It's black on black crime.
Right, they don't have
So,
to
Greg,
That's why they're
yeah,
not out protesting.
I
So
want to
yeah,
go
I
through
don't
that a
see
little
there are
bit.
any neutral zones.
Yeah,
I don't
they
see
never
safe
have to.
zones.
Well, no, I want to go through that. And by the way, Vinny, good job on losing weight. You're looking great, bud.
Yeah,
So,
it's cool.
Thank
yeah.
you,
I
thank you,
want to
Bob. Thank you.
recognize Vinny for, the left should take some tips from Vinny. Trim down, get smart, and stop using pots and pans except to cook. Right? Is that a good tip? That's a good pro
Yeah,
tip, right?
yeah, that's it. That's a good one.
But back to Greg. So, Greg,
That matters.
I again, being a denizen of Northern Virginia, I don't now. I live in beautiful Edenton, North Carolina, way south, 4 hours from the Metroplex. But in Northern Virginia, there's an infestation of blue-haired female liberals. I mean, they're everywhere. You can't swing a dead cat. Oop, I'm going to get in trouble for that. You can't swing a dead cat. I got a cat on my shirt, by the way. Here, Sphinx.
There you go.
Anyway, without hitting, and these people are nuts. They live in an alternate universe. They live in a universe where feelings are real, facts don't matter, and the issue of the day is what they protest. So I saw, like you did, all these older liberal white women dragging their husbands down. They pulled them away from letting them watch Sharon Teague's swimsuit videos. That's what I guess the old liberal guys like. Just saying, they dream of better days. Anywho, it's going to get me in trouble too. And they're going to get me in trouble. Anyway, my point being is that they live all around DC. And so I guess they saw this as an opportunity to come in and be kind of, I don't know, woke. It's like a woke echo, because this is not the people of DC protesting. Those are not people who live in DC. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah, no, I would agree with you. I don't think they're people that necessarily live in DC, but you know what? Even more so, to your point, these are not the people that are touched by crime necessarily.
No, of course not. Of course not.
Over the years, I've had I can think right off the top of my head, at least 3 incidents where people I knew that were close to me were touched by crime. And all of them happened right in the broad daylight, so it wasn't even where, I'm in the wrong place at 2:00 at night. No, it wasn't that. It was just literally broad daylight, not doing anything, supposedly safe areas, and assaults and robberies. And we lived there. I lived at the Watergate residences for a while. And
I love that area. That's a beautiful area. The Watergate's
a beautiful area. I swear I saw his ghost at times. And then I lived on Connecticut Ave near DuPont Circle. And this is what we saw every day. And it's only gotten worse. And to your point, when you talk to people that are really there, even journalists, reporters, people that have to work there, they'll tell you in private. Hey, I'm glad. My concern is, okay, once the feds leave, my concern is the stuff that really prevents DC from truly getting the crime in order and control, and the drugs and the homelessness and the prosecutions. That stuff has to change. I put my finger right to DC Council. They're the softest on crime, most woke, most corruption I've ever seen. When I was there, literally, federal and state funds were supposed to go to a little league field. You know where they went? 2 DC Council members redirected the money to buy Escalades for themselves. It really was dramatic. It was something out of a true crime where they're stuffing the money in as the FBI starts raiding their house and apartment. There's a lot of corruption, but the laws themselves protect the youths that are carjacking. You got to get serious and change that stuff and get rid of this cashless bail. It's not working.
Greg, let me ask you that question, because I would propose, since it's a federal enclave, not a state, just start again. President Trump has the ability to work with Congress to say, yeah, this home rule, yeah, no, no more. We're done with that. And basically just reset to zero. It's like, we're going to start again. Because to your point, Greg, if you have a system that's completely compromised to corruption, and you have the ability to eliminate that system, then to be done with it. Set a date, end date, say January the 1st of 2027. Or no, that's too long. 2026, like 6 months from now, 4 months from now, it's done. We're going to come up with a new charter. We will allow the Metropolitan Police to kind of continue, but I can't stomach a Metropolitan Police chief who doesn't understand the concept of chain of command. So you're gone.
It's social media that causes the problem, according to the Cincinnati police chief.
Yes,
it's you.
Course.
It's you writing on social media, Tony. It's Tony. It's Tony Shaffer's X page, which, by the way, you got to check out. You know?
That's right. Go subscribe. Go subscribe to my X page. Yeah, go subscribe.
Tony, stop ruining DC with all your social media pages.
Right.
Yeah,
all my posts. My legal posts.
Either one of two things has to happen. Either they need to change the systemic stuff going on, the judges not being able to truly give sentences, treating teen gang members as if they're just, good kids that, did wrong, something out of like an Oliver Twist novel. Oh, they just need a little bit of, putting in some care. It's gang members and it's gangs.
Greg, wasn't there about 3
stuff.
years ago? 3 years ago, two black teenagers, female teenagers, murdered an Uber driver, right? They drug him to death.
Yes.
So you're telling me that, it's just a few missing kids. No, it's the culture. If you have kids in their teens thinking somehow that, we're going to go steal an Uber, we don't care, that's way deeper than a few bad apples ruining the whole bail. I mean,
it's also like Judge Janine was saying the other day as attorney for DC. I mean, a lot of these youths, they don't take it seriously because they know they've got the law on their side. They're basically protected. What's the worst going to happen to them? So to your point, Tony, it's either end the illusion or end the sort of the home rule completely. Like you said, just scrap it, start again, get it right. Or change home rule to the point where it really is setting up DC for success. It's our nation's capital. It should be the most beautiful, the most safe, and the area we're most proud of. And it's not been that way for decades.
So let me say this. I first moved to DC. I started coming there as an operative in the mid 80s. I moved to DC to be a full-time spook, in 1988. And Greg, I could go down, and I used to love to do this. I used to run at all times. I could go down to the Capitol Mall at 2 a.m. and felt completely safe.
Right.
Because it was a different place back then. And so we had, at least then there was an attitude, both left and right, because this was both parties, that we had to set aside differences and make DC the capital you're talking about. So let me ask you that. What do we do? And I'll ask you this as a binary choice. I want Vinny to comment on this too in a second. Should Trump just say, we're done? We are going to reverse home rule with Congress. I mean, you're going to have members of Congress go along with this and just say, we're going to take a step back. We got to get rid of it and start again. Or is there a path forward for the current system? So that's it. Vinny, what do you think first? Let Vinny say it, then over to you, Greg. What do you think, Vinny?
Okay.
Well, I think, like you said, Trump should just say he's finally done with everything, take full control of everything, and make things a lot better than what they are. I mean, just recently, I was reading this article yesterday about the Governor Hoopla. She pardoned an illegal that's a murderer, so he doesn't get deported.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Did you read about that?
I think a cop killer, too, she let off, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. She secretly pardoned two
You got a
people,
picture, Chris,
him and somebody else.
you got a picture of Governor Hochul in her early days?
Yes,
Governor
we do.
Greg,
Yes,
I
we
don't know
do.
if you know, Governor Hochul had a whole career before she became governor. Chris is going to bring it up here in a second. So she was quite, I think, is stunning the right word, Chris?
Stunning as far as surprise, I suppose, but that's what it is. Here you go.
Yeah.
You can tell
Well,
me
let's-
if you're stunned.
There she is. There's Governor Hochul
Wow.
back in her early days, back when she
Right.
was a vampira. That's a good shot of her. I don't know what she did.
Nice.
I don't know what she did to her eyebrows, but you know, it works for me.
Yeah,
Benny, would you take her out on a date?
protect her on
I
the
don't think I'd
subway.
take her out on a date. Yeah.
No, I think the nails protect her when she's going into subway in New York City, though.
Look,
Kind of
Yeah,
like
that's
this,
true.
Yeah,
this
right.
is a
going on.
woman, this is a woman who's trying to empty prisons around here, who's trying to screw over the corrections officers in this state. She's let out. This is not just this week, this recent week. She in the past, she's let out the worst of the worst. We're talking about a criminal who chopped up his girlfriend, put it in a suitcase, partied with her family, and then tried to get away with the girlfriend chopped up in the suitcase. by the way.
Well,
and
enough
another
about
one, a
New York.
child
But
killer.
back to
Yeah.
Greg, do you think then that what is the choice is, does Trump just really put the hammer down, so to speak, hammer time, not the Paul Pelosi style, not that kind,
Okay.
but
Okay.
but
And not the
but
billowy
that was
pants.
good. Yeah,
Not the big billowy
yeah.
pants either, right? Okay.
That's right. No parachute pants for
Okay.
Mayor. What's her name? She can't have
Bowser.
those. No,
Mary
Bowser.
Bowser.
That's right, Bowser. Chris likes Bowser, but that's
I'm
a
a big
different
Bowser fan. I also
So,
like Chaco
Tony-
and Lenny.
Yeah, Tony, I think what you do is you want to show some sort of results, right? You want to show some success.
Yeah.
So it's not just pitted as Trump's a dictator and wants to take over DC, and the good people of DC want to be free. I think if you give it 3 to 6 months at most, show the success. And I am convinced that there is already success with the crime rate. You're going to continue to see it. I think it's just it's pretty simple, right? Bigger police presence, more arrests, get rid of the worst of the worst, change, prosecute, rates are going to go down, which is great. Show some success and say, okay, now give them a binary choice. Do you want to go back to what you had, or do you want this to continue? And if you want it to continue, it's got to be a real reform of the home rule. I think parts can be saved.
Yeah.
But I think if it's either reform it to the point real, don't do cosmetic stuff. Like people have to get prosecuted. You got to get rid of the cashless bail. Youthful teen gang members have got to go to jail. This all has to happen, or
Right.
then you go with sort of the nuclear option, which is, completely scrap it,
but
work with Congress, and
But
start
Greg,
again.
we've kind of seen this movie before. You probably remember, because I lived through it. Mayor for Life, Mayor, what's his name? The guy, the bitch
crackhead.
set me up. Oh,
The crackhead.
Yeah,
Mayor
Mayor Marion Barry. So,
Oh,
Marion-
Marion Barry. Yeah.
so my
Yeah,
point,
but you
Greg,
didn't-
is that the system that produced Marion Barry, the bitch set
Right.
me. I guess sorry,
Right.
I hate to say it, but that's what
He
he
was in
said when
jail
he got
for-
arrested.
Yeah,
So,
he went
Greg,
to jail.
it took years. He was breaking the law constantly. He was like literally an African, like a tribal leader and so that happened under home rule. They kind of cleaned it up, and now here we are again. So what
Yeah,
people
but
elected him
I
again.
would
don't
argue
think we've
is
ever
the
gone-
system
Yeah,
just
but I don't think
broken.
we've ever gone this. I don't think we've ever taken these kind of measures. I want these measures to be able to show a little success first, because I don't think we've ever gone that route to this extent. So I'm all for go this route, show the success, force the left and the crazies to argue against actual measurable success. Force them to do that. Let's see what they do with their pots and pans when the rates go down and the crime gets better, and give them that two choices. One, if that isn't acceptable and isn't changed, absolutely, then absolutely start from scratch. Because DC's got a lot of beautiful parts. DC, it's like I said, our nation's capital. It needs to be saved. So it's one of those two options.
Oh, we agree.
Hopefully it's not inevitable what you're saying, but it may very well be if they don't do real reform.
Well, so Greg, I agree. Look, one of the things I'm a big fan of is the taking over of Kennedy Center. Kennedy Center should be a masterpiece of performance. Both the building itself, you've probably been over there. It's a beautiful view of the Potomac. I've been over there to watch the sunset. It's like gorgeous. Yet it was becoming decrepit. It was like you had leaks. All the money was going there. To your point, all the money was supposed to be going to renovation went to the pockets of the board, which Rick Grinnell has stopped. I think that's something that should be. So I think it should become a centerpiece of the world where people want to come to see. So I think it's important, and I think that's another thing that the left is screaming about. And I don't want to get you down that path, but do you think the president is doing the right thing by taking over Kennedy Center and beginning with, fixing the arts? Do you think that's valid?
I'll just make Tony. I mean, I'll just make this quick, which is if you look at the actual mission of the Kennedy Center, it's supposed to be a center of arts for people. Exactly. What happens with a lot of the arts, it becomes very much, again, a sort of an elitist enclave. And then you get these acts or you get people that are honored, or you get the kind of shows that, the vast majority of people go, what the heck is that? I wouldn't pay a dime to see it. So I like I like the folks he's honoring, because we're getting back actually to the mission of the Kennedy Center, which is these are the artists, these are the shows, this is the town America loves. We should honor it. And again, Trump, people forget. I mean, he's a builder. He loves beautiful things. Kennedy Center is going to look magical. The ballroom they're working on is going to look incredible. So people should just take a breath and say, let's wait until we see the results. Same thing with DC overall. Take a breath. Wait for the results. I agree with you. I think it's going to be beautiful. When we lived in the Watergate, of course, we would just walk over to the Kennedy Center, and I brought some friends in from out of town. The first thing they said, wow, to your point, the sunset's beautiful, but man, this place,
it's beautiful.
It looks like it needs a lot of repair.
People should be hanging out there. It's gorgeous.
A lot of problems. It looked old.
Fair enough.
It looked like people just basically neglected it. And I think that's like DC. Yeah. It's been neglected. It needs the attention and love.
So one last question before we go. We're getting short on time. Regarding the Kennedy Center, Greg, do you think they should encourage and maybe even force Adam Schiff to do a one-man show about his expanding head on stage there? Do you think that would be good?
Yeah,
I think that would be useful. That's giving him something to do.
He's starting to look like Tim Matthews or whatever. Chris Matthews. Yeah.
The one-man show for Adam Schiff. But again, I think we're probably. He may not have enough material, after he hits that sort of one.
I don't know.
He might be out. He might be out.
Schiff provides his own material. Yes.
Yeah, he looks like Baby Stewie.
Hey, listen, Tony. Can I before we go, can I hit our projects real quick?
Do it. Yeah, please. Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah, thanks. So we are doing a true crime drama based on actual events in where we are in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Basically, the charismatic pastor, very suspicious death of a young wife. On screen is sort of a proof of concept little promo trailer. And basically, we're reenacting some of it. We have a lovely young actress that's playing in the reenactment. And then, of course, we have an original script as well. We're doing a documentary. This land is my land. This land is your land. This land is China's land, about the Chinese land grab, 300,000 plus acres across the U.S., many of them near military bases. We got that cooking as well. And then we're working on a music video that we're doing. So we got all kinds of stuff. www.valmarfilms.com or gregthefilmmaker.com, which is the one I think you all got up.
That's what we have.
And happy, check it out. Give a shout out to us. We love collaboration and love co-production. But those are some of the things we're working on right now.
Very cool.
Amazing. Great work.
Good.
Well, thanks, man.
Well,
thanks,
we'll definitely do another shout out.
Cousin Vinny. I love that movie, buddy.
That's same. Remember the two Utes.
Vinny looks great. Vinny looks great in a tuxedo in front of a judge, right? Right, Vinny?
Yeah, right?
Hey, he did wear a cool suit.
Got to get the ruffles, man.
Hey,
the little bow tie.
And John Kerry's stunt double played the judge. Right.
Yeah.
That's right. So, hey, well, Greg, we want you back. We want to continue this discussion because the DC thing's not going away. Cousin Vinny's not going away. No, he's been out doing Hollywood stuff. So we look forward to
Yeah,
hearing more
yeah,
about
been busy with that.
Very cool.
Been busy with that.
We're happy to have you here,
Yeah.
though. So that's good.
Anyway, and by the way, a quick plug. We're doing some special things, and Chris is included with my X account. We're going to be doing some, stuff, especially on 9/11. I've got some stuff lined up for the 9/11, the full month. A lot of things on that. So stay tuned. More to come. Right, Chris?
Yeah, check out Tony's X page, and we're going to release some website information because a lot of great things are happening. We're going to be doing special broadcasts on your show, live streams. It's going to be very, it's going to be a rather.
If you like what we do here, and we're going to continue to
do
do it here. We got some.
Right.
Well, hopefully, we'll get some new stuff here too. We're just going to do it on multiple platforms. Yeah, my head is getting as big as Adam Schiff's, so that's huge, right? It's going to be huge.
Hey, why not, though?
Huge.
Hey, yeah, just so you know, I was there for the cleanup for 9/11 with my union. Yeah, I was there for the
That's
cleanup.
good. Well, we'll talk more about the video. We'll have you on to talk about that.
We should do that.
We got a lot to come. As a matter of fact, this has just been announced. I'll be doing a talk with my friend Kurt Weldon and my wacky and crazy friend Dennis Kucinich, one of the crazy but lovable lefties. I love Dennis. Dennis and I are friends. We'll be doing a talk in DC. By the way, Greg, in DC, we'll be in DC.
Okay.
On 9/11, talking about this with the firemen, because to your point, Vinny, a lot of people suffered greatly. And we are not going to have pots and pans. No
pots and pans parade.
No more pots and pans.
No.
I hope not. I hope not.
All right. I got to go. I got to go be on Sean Spicer's new show right now. But we'll see you tomorrow morning.
See you
All right,
then.
guys. Thanks for having me.
Take care, everybody.
See you all soon.
Keep up the good work.